we go. I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. I do appreciate you for finding yourself here again. Another day, another opportunity for us to be present, another moment for us to consider our values. That's the thing that I want to talk about. That seems to be the theme that keeps coming up over and over in some of the conversations I'm having. Is what is it we value above all else? The conversation between me and Christian has been unfolding as a conversation of us talking about our futures and what we want our futures to look like, where we want to be in our futures, who we want to be in our futures, who we want to be with in our futures. And all of these things are determined by our values. What I value in that way isn't necessarily what I'll get, but there is some correlation. There is some correlation. You know, and as I was doing my like rest pose in Shavasana today, I found myself thinking about the fact that I do have a streak, if you will, of liking discomfort sometimes. Am I seeing a snake right now? Is that a snake? No. Man, it's only a bug. A shongololo. Trident, woman. Hey, Gem. What a pleasure having you here. Sending you so much love. Thank you for valuing this space. So many years have passed, and here we are again, still valuing this opportunity to be together. Right? And in these conversations that I had with Christian today about what it is we value, of course, money comes up as one of those things. Right? It's a little bit hard to think even about value in our current world without thinking at least in part about money too. No, it's only me. Only you in stream right now? Yeah, it looks like it. I'm not surprised. I've been getting a lot less of our friends in this space with us. But at the same time, I see it as a matter of almost like fact. I do try and be better. I do try and think about it. Only together is possible. True. Also true. Also true. Right? All of us are here. Hakuna Matata. Saying hi too. I haven't seen your username before, Hakuna Matata, but I do like it. It means no worries for the rest of our days. It's my philosophy. Can you say my name? Burkan and Kyra. Burkan and Kyra? Hakuna Matata. Burkan and Kaima? No, it was about the snake. Oh. No, it's only me. Oh, I see. Only together is possible though. I think it's still a good reminder to have. Right? Because again, the reason I was so quick to talk about that is because it is about values. Right? And in that way, some people might just value their sleep. It might not even be something sinister, right? Some people might just value their sleep. And because of that, they're not awake for this stream. And that's okay, right? That makes complete sense to me. It means no worries. There we go. Yeah, it does. The thing is that split is here. So many of us are falling back. Yeah, it's true. Pabax Yashi, sending you blessings too. What you're saying is right, Trident woman. I have felt this split as well. It was weirdly enough one of the things that me and Christian had a conversation about, but we called it more, it's like we are as a species going through a schizophrenic era. Like we are batshit insane collectively right now. And we're trying potentially erroneously so, to find some sort of sanity. And as it looks like right now, some people are coming to the conclusion that the only thing of value is money. Deep breath confirmed, yeah. The only thing of value is money, right? When we know that's not true, we know that's not true. But the split that we're going through almost is asking us to choose. It's asking us to choose. I want to say it in a grim way, almost like to remain. Right? That's the way I see the split, actually, Jem, is that this world is going to reach a point of discomfort. Right? I technically, with last year, and still a little bit in this year, have gone through experiences that generate a significant amount of discomfort in my spirit. A discomfort that, in the same way as when you feel uncomfortable at a party, you reach a point of saturation where you're like, okay, I just want to go back home and relax. Right? Like that, I feel like that energy is going to arise in us. And in that way, whether or not we stay, I believe, Trident, is going to be determined based on what we value. Right? If we have real friends, because again, you can value a bunch of things. You can value gold, and you can value, paper monies, and you can value assets like homes or cars. You can value all of those things, and you can value those things to the point of acquiring them, right? And you can have all of those things. But the amount of value they bring retroactively into your life will always pale in comparison to the value your loved ones, your friends, your family, your chosen family especially, brings into your life. Right? And in that way, those who only have money will have nothing. And those who have friends, comparatively, will have everything. Christian, I want to see if you're going to agree with this hot take, bro. I'm talking about, inspired by our conversations today, values.
Values?
Yeah.
Yee. I am guilty of having sometimes too strong of a set of principles that people don't always stomach.
Yeah, that's basically the conversation we've had, bro. And it did lead us to this conversation of how even if we get rich, getting rich without having each other in each other's lives won't be that valuable. And then I made the comparison that if you value only gold bars, nice cars, big houses, holidays, and you get those things because you value them so much.
The good times. I think that's remember that again. We can bring up that video I sent you about being vulnerable.
Sharing.
This is a little bit sexist. I think girls find it a bit easier to open up to each other and talk about the bad times, whereas dudes around, especially in like Chad groups, find it very, very difficult to sit down and be like, I'm struggling with erectile dysfunction. I'm struggling with hating my partner. I'm struggling with
hating myself.
I'm struggling financially. I feel insecure. All of these sorts of things never really get brought up because nobody wants to sit there and listen to some dude open up about that shit. And it just doesn't. It's not something that is.
It's not
widely
valued.
Accepted in society.
It's not valued right now, bro. Like again, we've been as a species incentivized, and like we were talking about a split happening in our species right now. And I believe that split is going to be the question of what do you value. And my posing to the audience right now is that the world might get so uncomfortable that in the same way you can be uncomfortable at a party and want to leave to go and be comfortable at home.
Everyone is very insecure right now.
The earth is like that right now.
More and more. We've been desensitized to exist in social spaces, especially after COVID. I mean, can you imagine, for the first time in human history, you are forced
to
stay inside your house, away from so many
forced
people
to
that
use
you're
these
used
things
to. Yeah.
because that's the only thing.
I mean, when you do end up going back into that social space, of course you're going to have this this mask that you wear of like, oh, this is totally fine and it's all okay again. Meanwhile, I mean, I'm also thinking of just the people that have toxic family environments. Can you imagine having to be stuck in that space for 2 years? No choice. As a kid, bro.
Hating
as a
people,
teenager.
not being able to be
Wow.
with your friends. And then again, what happened is they threw themselves into their technology to the point where that has become their world.
Absolutely.
And it's, again, this matter of the world outside is so uncomfortable right now that people, it's very easy to value the digital experience over the
First of
physical
all,
one.
the outside world is expensive like fuck.
Yeah, unaffordable even. Right? Never mind.
Unaffordable. I mean, just getting groceries. Forget going out to a theme park. Forget going out to a restaurant.
Bro, try a 1 week vacation. Oh, yes.
1 week.
Quickly, like half of the money you've saved.
Not
in a
even out
year.
of country. Not even out of country. In country. Just somewhere at a motel or something. Because either you buy groceries for that week.
We do have some messages. Let's see. Trident Woman says, if we don't get to our true selves, we are lost in the ego mind. The choice is heart or mind. Heart is where we're all together, flowing effortlessly. Mind is the money. Heart is creation.
Look, I have to say that it's both. You need to find a balance between heart and mind. It
Yeah.
cannot just be heart
I
or
believe
mind.
this. So I'm thinking about what you said earlier about like only optimism actually ends up biting you in the ass in the end of the day. And I was like, I don't know if that's true because I try to be a relentless optimist. But even though I'm optimistic that things will work out, to put it in quotation marks, I'm not sitting around and waiting optimistically.
Yeah.
For
Just
it to
having that
turn out.
optimistic hope.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be fine.
It'll be
and then
fine,
doing nothing
doing
about it.
absolute
And
jack.
hoping it just gets handed to you.
Yeah, that's not the correct type of optimism we need right now. Jaju, and Fabux, and Hokana, and Christian, and MeltMore, and Joe. It's nice having you here with us too. That is all ego, and you must deal with it. Value and worth is what you can create for all of us. Nothing material will last, nothing. Only our energy that reflects the light. I really resonate with that, and there is a part of me that's very biased, unfortunately, Jam, because I create content like this. I choose to create into the immaterial world with that want to create something that can potentially last forever, instead of the nothing lasts forever.
Nothing does last forever. Not even nothing.
I mean, in a way, you can't prove
That's
nothing
a-
exists.
It got me, and it's an epiphany I had the one day, right? When I wrote that, you've read that poem, specifically the one that was about like our atoms splitting apart and eventually, because of
together.
infinity, would come back together
Yeah.
because it doesn't.
Inevitably,
doesn't
within
end.
infinity.
So the question is whether the concept of infinity is factual, right? That's the big question at the end of the day. Is reality and everything that we perceive as reality truly
infinite.
infinite?
Not
Or is
linear.
there actually an absolute end? Oblivion is the right word for it. And there's no way we can possibly prove that. It's just one of those things that are truly unreachable. It's like having a negative number within the spectrum of positive numbers. How do you do that?
You can't. It has to be imaginary. And again, I feel in that way, nothing is also imaginary. Right? Because there's no such thing. Is there?
As nothing.
Is there nothing?
We live in the spectrum of positive numbers.
Yeah.
We live in the
spectrum of something.
in the something, yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like death is that thing that transitions you into the nothing, into the negatives.
I don't believe that though. Like, again, from the experience.
I'm not saying, again, it's something that won't last forever. You're going to be in death, but you're not going to know you're in death because you can't perceive. And it can be trillions, quadrillions, and an inconceivable number of years can go by, and suddenly you're conscious
You're
again.
this again. In this
But is it
arrangement.
you? Is it... Again,
That's
in
a
that same poem I ask,
ship of
thus
Theseus.
comes the question of the soul. Does it play a role, or is it just there to explain the complex, to unperplex that which vexes the spiritual reflex?
Yeah.
And it's it's like your reflex is that you're going to live forever. That's your survivability speaking.
first
where it's
assumption.
like, oh, even if we die, we're still gonna live because that's that's the big hope that keeps you going every day, right? I had this conversation with another Bulgarian. His name is Vili, and he's like, okay, but now you're just assuming that infinity is true, and he's right. I was in that moment. He fucking broke my mind. I'm like, oh fuck, I am assuming that infinity is true. That is my belief. That's like believing in God or any other religious deity. So
I feel infinity for us is one of those things where it's, as you kind of said, it's an experiential thing, right? Where believing in a God is more, and it can be experiential in that way too, but it's almost like with religious spirituality, you have to keep gaining almost like this momentum until you feel this thing, and you can do so with prayer and through worship. Where with infinity, it's more like you're getting beaten down by this concept, right? And you have to kind
my
of... come to
issue
this
is
conclusion.
the complexity between the two ideas, right? Infinity is a very simple concept. It's things never end. Whereas when you start adding characteristics to infinity and setting them as ultimate truths,
Rules.
you're losing me. You're
Exactly.
losing
Like that's...
me. You are nothing.
Yeah.
You are this. Even humanity as a whole, everything that we have ever
In the time scale.
in the
of
time scale that we
everything.
have existed, we are fucking nothing. And you want to tell me that you know how God works?
Not only that, but
Oh,
if you
come on.
don't agree with me on how God works, you're going to hell.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Because I don't believe in your version of this absolutely
Idea.
idealist scenario thing. And it is idealist. It's so idealist. What makes you think that God is good and wants the best for you? Oh, come on. You take 5 seconds to observe the real universe around you. You realize nature, reality, whatever you want to call it,
Is everything.
doesn't give a fuck.
I call it everything, right? And I've had this conversation actually last night with Dad. And that's the conversation that led to the whole, religion begets war sometimes. Because that tells me that if I just spent the time actually studying and looking at
yeah.
religion, I would
Yeah.
come to the conclusion that religion is the right way for
Yeah.
me. And I told him that from my perspective, and it is that thing, I'm not, and he started his point by calling me an atheist. He goes, every atheist that actually went to go and study the gospel ended up becoming a Christian. And I go, first points first, I'm not an atheist. And I go, because to me, God is everything. Not just this idealized, as you said, good, everything. That includes
The shitty.
me and you.
And the evil.
That includes the people stabbing each other. That includes the babies
The
dying
rape
of
and violence
cancer.
and
It includes all of the bad, and it includes
hubris.
all of the good. And the way I see it, as soon as you click that, as soon as that becomes your new base reality, you have to be the good God. Not that God is the one that's good, because if you believe in a good God, you have to be it. You have to be the one that shows up in the world as that, to show people that God is good. Because who else is? There's going to be no clouds opening
One
up
of my
and some
favorite
guy coming
sayings,
down.
and this is actually one I learned from the Beowulf animated movie. Never heard it before, but I'm sure it was quoted from somewhere else. But essentially the idea remains, and that is, God will not do for you what you cannot do for yourself. I love that. That is so profoundly powerful and true. Absolutely true. Yes, of course, luck and circumstance falls into it, but that applies to any creature on this planet.
It also applies to you showing up, right? You have to still
Not
be,
just the believing ones.
you have to still be doing the thing for yourself to be put in the position to be lucky or to...
I wanted to mention a comic I saw not too long ago where it shows Jesus in a tug of war, right? And then the next panel shows Jesus and atheists in a tug of war on the same side, pulling on the same side. And I thought that was really great.
Yeah.
Because it's like...
We're getting you on this side. And like again, this is something that I actively, every single time he brings up Jesus as a character, I go, if me and Jesus existed at the same time, we'd be friends.
Yeah.
We'd be friends.
We'd get along.
Because I believe the problem of religion is the misinterpretation of teaching.
I straight up wear this thing on my neck.
Yeah,
Right here.
there's a cross. With a Jesus on it.
Yeah. Does your dad wear one of these?
Nope.
Yeah, no. What?
Definitely not.
So, like, am I winning because I have Jesus around my neck?
in gold.
Surely that's more physically impactful,
Yeah, you're,
right?
You're
than
showing up
just
for
belief.
the fractal, exactly.
It's on my neck. It's on my wear.
Represent.
Oh, so
you do
so
have a
what now?
pentagram.
It's a pentasil.
So technically, people have to know what we're talking about. There it is.
Moses.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. You see, it's a. I mean, it is technically.
Do you know what a
powder, but-
pentasil is about, though? It's about containing evil.
Yeah,
Not-
I literally
it's
believe
not
that.
evil. It's about containing.
Did I tell you about my meeting with Jesus?
No.
I love this story.
Well,
bro.
no, thanks for the invite.
Right, it happened too quick. But I listened to Terence McKenna, you know, where he had this whole take on you're supposed to, if you're smoking weed, not actually smoke it every day. You're supposed to not smoke for like 3 weeks and then smoke as much as you can.
Yeah, weed.
Right as you can. So I'm like, bet. Terence McKenna is like on some shit. Maybe he knows what he's talking
Dude,
about.
he's one of the OG trippers.
So I take
Proper.
keef, right? Like, you know, remember that keef that I filtered out? So I take like literally that entire like bowl, like my that bamboo bong.
You
that
have
I
a
had.
bong.
Yeah, like bamboo
Bamboo
bong.
one.
That full.
Moralise bong.
Yeah,
Yo.
yeah, that one. Full stack. Oh, plot. And I hit that, dude. And I sit on my bed and I start doing these breathwork exercises. And the first thing I see is pentagrams. So, and I cock myself. I'm like, what
Panic.
the fuck? What the fuck? What did I just do
Panic
to myself?
in the pentagram.
And then I see like basically all of these pentagrams like form this big one right in front of me. And it's like center of mind's eye. I can't look away from it. So I go, what am I supposed to do with this? And I start going, oh, and I start turning it, bro. And it goes from being the horns to being a
The
person,
star.
yeah, a person standing up. And then I'm like, yeah, that looks better. And then I look to my side and there's Jesus sitting on one of those sofa cushions. What you call-
Damn.
like a poof,
Yeah.
like laid back, eating a bag of chips, watching me. And I just get
You
this-
have told me this.
yeah, I've
I'm
told you
pretty
this story,
sure.
but I love this story because I get this sense of like, we're on the same team and he's not worried about me, bruh. Like,
That was the big concept of many of the big experiences that I've had. Is always come back with other energies saying, "Stop worrying."
yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know, we're big warriors. You and I think we're in terms of like in
Relentless
terms
warriors.
of being good, in terms of wanting to be good, and constantly stressing about being good. And it's always the same message. It's like that's what it means to have already won.
Yeah.
Is you always wanting to be on the good side, to do the right thing, to make the correct sacrifices. That is like already you've won. You figured it out. Whereas other people are like, what can I do to get away with as much kaka-doo-doo and not get punished for it?
Take as much as I can before anybody notices.
Yeah.
Dude, I had this moment with a stranger at White Rabbit. That White Rabbit that I met John at, actually. The one that Adam took me to. And I was definitely communing with the universe. So I started doing some yoga. And then suddenly this person walks past me and like thinks I'm not okay. Because I'm like stretching in a way that she probably hasn't seen a person like move. Like on the ground, face to the floor. And then she goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "I'm just doing yoga." And she goes, Can I put down an incense for you?" And you know how I feel about those stick incenses. So I'm like, "No, thank you." And she's like, "Oh." And I can see her almost like shocked. Like
Hurt.
by the fact that
How could you not accept my incense?
I don't want to take your stuff. And then she moves away. And then end of the party, she comes and sits down with me and she like starts up a conversation. And she offers me a cigarette. And I go, "No, thank you." And she again is like, "Why don't you want to take stuff from me?" And I go, "Because I don't need anything." And then she starts telling me this story of how everybody in her world that she offers stuff to always takes it.
Yeah,
Always.
that's classic.
And I was like so taken aback by something so simple like, no, because I don't smoke cigarettes, and two, I don't like incense. So in that way, if she offered me anything else, maybe I would have taken it.
You want some grapefruit?
Yeah,
Some grapefruit?
Sit
Yeah.
some at night. Yeah,
Sounds
exactly.
sick.
So in that way, like I gave her a perspective that she gave me, bro. Like, and both of us walked away, maybe knowing less, technically, assuming more. So much assumptions. I feel like you're really hitting still, bro. I'm still thinking about that. You've already won actually wanting to be a good person in the worrying fractal. Because that is my whole trip. Oh, I worry.
So
I
that's
think I'm
that's
a
the
bad person more often than I actually
That's-
think I'm a good one.
That's the problem with a lot of the indoctrination of religion, is that it makes you fear this concept of hell and this eternal punishment. If
I'm not too scared of that, weirdly enough, bro.
if you don't follow a certain set of rules, that you will be eternally damned.
For
and
me-
it reminds me of that Rob the Universe song, The Gathering.
The three...
Yeah, the three people
Yeah.
arguing about it. And I love how it ends, because it says, but they were all wrong. And they
all
all went to Christian hell. Yeah.
And he starts laughing.
Despite the absolutely profound perspectives that each of them had. One of them believed that you would be reincarnated into the same life over and over and over again up until forever. The other one believed that it just ends.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
nothing.
There's nothing more. And the third one believed that you are God. And
Yeah, you are the everything.
you will remember that you are the everything when you die. This is what happens when your mind leaves the gathering. And then it just ends. And I love that about Rob the Universe. Like, ends with, but they were all wrong. And they all went to Christian hell.
Bro, my dad wouldn't want to hear any of those words. And like even the ending, which he would agree with.
I think
Still-
that's immediately a wrong indication. If you're not willing to even listen to the other ideas that might exist out there, that means you're insecure about the idea that you believe in. Because if you're not open to argument, if you're not open to discussing it, if you cannot justify it with another human being, then it's not a very good point of view, is it? It's not a very potent one. It's not a very set one.
Yeah. It's a very dictatorial one, right? And we know how humans respond to dictators over and over again.
It's called a guillotine, eventually.
People are not like that. Like for me, it is a matter of values. Again, bro. Like I cannot value an idea.
A dude that will punish
much.
you for not believing.
Yeah, I cannot value that. And then, like, weirdly enough, we actually recently had a stranger walk into stream, and it was Sunday, and he goes, "Oh, it's Sunday. You know what that means?"
Kerk.
And I go, "Oh, I don't know what that means." He goes, "Means Bible verse time."
Oh.
Literally that. And I go, "Bet." And I ask a language model,
Psalms.
give me two.
Verse 2.
Weirdly enough, there was a Psalms in there.
Of course it was.
But I bet ChatGPT, give me two freaking Bible verses on the topic we're discussing as we're discussing it. And it gives me two Bible verses and I read them. And the first one goes, and when you something, you will realize that God's will is perfect and always good.
Ah.
And I go, and I like head tilt. And I'm like, oh, you see, like I love some of the wisdom in the Bible, but here I'm like, I'm not so sure.
I mean, as readers of the Bible, people should know that God has killed
A lot.
a lot more people than the devil ever did.
Willingly.
Like a lot.
And he,
Like, I'm pretty sure he genocided the whole planet at some point.
twice, technically. I mean, not exactly, but he was like, after the first time, he was like, okay, I won't do
I'm
it
fairly
like that
certain.
again.
I'm fairly certain you can count on your fingers how many people the devil has killed, if any.
Yeah, like actually, historically in the Bible, I don't think you can find any, like literally none, where the devil was given
I'm not
direct
being
credit.
Satanist here.
No,
defending
no.
the devil. I'm just saying, it seems to me like he also got the short end of the perspective stick.
Dude, and I had this conversation with my dad as well, you know, because in the Bible, they say that Satan wanted God's power and rebelled, and a third
Of the angels came.
of the angels came with him. And I go, Dad, where have you ever, in a workplace, for example, had a third of the people hate someone else? To the point where they have to be fired because they cannot work with the
Again,
company.
my issue with that story, right, is you have an all-powerful, omnipotent,
Potent.
omnipresent being, right?
You are everything, everywhere at the same time.
Okay, so you wanted this to happen. Make it make sense, please.
Yes, I did. Like that was for me the whole like, and I came to that conclusion as like a 11-year-old
Yeah.
listening to the Adam and Eve story,
Yeah.
where they start the whole precipice of like this is the omnipotent, all-knowing, all-powerful God, and then they like lay out to me how God like tells human beings, and I'm a human being, tells these human beings, creates them everything, creates something there in their everything,
It puts them
and
next to
then
him.
tells them, no touchy this thing, you know. Being an omnipotent, all-knowing being
Yeah.
puts them in that environment. Like, what did you think was gonna happen?
My favorite reel, one of my favorite reels I've seen on Instagram is Eve going like, but if I eat this, it will turn me evil and God will discard me. And then it like pans to the snake and the snake goes, no. So like again, your argument couldn't have been very great if one like little slum is gonna be like no and you're like
no.
oh wait.
Bet. Yes, I'm
Bet.
gonna just betray the God that I've met.
Yeah.
That I meet every now and then. You know, we have like chill sessions.
Yeah. Now the feminists are also bashing on God being a woman. And
I'm down for God being woman. I actually believe.
I would prefer it.
I believe in the Mama Gaia fractal.
oh,
where-
Mama Gaia.
Yeah, God.
The
God to
Adrian,
us,
Adrian instilled that in us in a
he very much did.
festival.
Like the
Mama
closest
Gaia.
thing we have to God is this that is around us, right? The earth, Mama Gaia, and like
You
this
see
line.
that thing went in my mouth.
You have a bug? Oh, that fly was drowning himself.
Oh.
He's clean. He got sterilized by the.
I don't think he's gonna
14%
live much
alcohol.
longer, bro.
He's so
Probably
wasted
gonna
right
get
now, dude.
alcohol poisoning from.
He got turned into a walk. Oh, that dude having a stumble.
Yeah,
actually,
he's having a struggle.
He's a stumble now. He's actually stumbling.
The experience is wild though. Like he just went into a giant's mouth after drowning in a sea of alcohol.
Did you know that fruit flies seek out more fermented alcoholic fruits if they got denied the privilege of procreation?
Oh,
Yeah, so they get like they fail at copulating.
that makes sense.
They go drinking.
I mean, that makes sense. I'm
that
starting
makes
to,
that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm starting to mix my Afrikaans words inappropriately.
That mocks sin. That is technically we say
Son.
yeah sin
Yeah.
as that mocks sin.
makes sense.
That's sense. Our sense is literally sin.
You should tell your
tell
dad.
my How about that, Dad? Nee, maar dit is niet die Engelse taal wat laffer
Read
is.
some of your friends.
We have a few that we've missed.
After MeltMore, hot take, society has long represented masculine emotions, expecting men to always be strong supporters. The idea that crying makes a man weak is nonsense. But it is, it's true. It is a truth. Even now, that like entities like Andrew Tate, would convince you that there's no way you should cry in front of your woman.
Bruh.
And to some extent, he makes a point. I hate saying it. Really, I do. But the truth is, there are way too many accounts of men that were emotionally vulnerable with their female counterparts, and they just up and left.
So like we had that conversation a little bit earlier, and you mentioned it, having that exchange with the whole meme of men don't open up with one another and men don't have the opportunity to actually share their real stuff. And it is that fractal, bro, where right now as a society, on both sides of the spectrum, unfortunately, it's not rewarded. You don't get rewarded for being emotional or for crying.
I
right?
am definitely not saying one gender is worse than the other. There is shit on both sides, 100%.
But if you have real
and
homies and,
it's
you
just-
start crying, they're gonna like be there for you. They're gonna be like
The
"Yes,
real
yeah,
homies.
Yeah,
I've had
exactly.
I've had some crying sessions here in the garden with some of my real homies, bro, from high school. Shit, that's what solidified my friendship with them in the first place. Because I was bawling my eyes out. I was like, I broke up with this girl, and they were like, "We understand, bro.
I feel you, bro.
Sorry, she went through that shit, and it meant a lot. It really did, to be able to do that kind of stuff." I don't know the point I was getting at, but.
We were talking about the whole Andrew Tate persona fractal.
Oh yeah, so there is right now, I believe, an instigated gender war happening that is just aggravated from both sides continuously. There's another lady on Instagram called Lady J, and she's like dedicated her entire page to tackling delusional ladies and their perspectives on
reality.
like so toxic femininity. And she's sort of bringing that forward and being like, look, it's real. It's happening.
It's happening on both sides.
It's the truth. Don't think that it's not. Women are not guiltless. And that's the truth, sorry to say it. Men also. simps and fucking red pill bastards.
We were talking about the whole OnlyFans economy, right?
Oh shit!
Today,
Yeah.
Like, people are paying
Yeah.
money that could literally feed Africa, like multiple times over per year.
Yeah.
Dude,
To
like,
jerk off to some naked feet photos.
yeah, it's completely ridiculous. Taking deep breaths. I believe that whole gender war thing is a distraction so that we don't class war. Again, it always comes back down to that for me. Value and worth is what we create through again. Musket. I think I've already read the hot take. We as a society need to move forward by supporting and uplifting men as they grow. We have to support the youth. True. I'm happy that this dude has been supporting this youth. He got to see me grow as well. I'm turning 27 this year, dude.
You're old, bro. In the late 20s.
I'm now in my late
You're seeing
20s.
30 on the
Officially
horizon. Bro.
late 20s.
It's coming. It's not so bad. 28 is the worst. That's the yeah. 28 is the big existential, like, oh fuck, I'm old now. And then you get over it at 29. So far, at least. It's been going well at 29.
We've been exercising and taking care of our bodies, at least. I feel like if you do nothing after you, like, if you do nothing and you start aging, it's a lot more noticeable.
I believe
MeltMore
is a
right there.
lie.
Forever will nothing last.
Don't do that.
Luke, bless you. Believe is a lie. B-lie-V. Trust is now moment here together. Trust is going to be a big thing in our future. And we're building systems of trust that literally did not exist 15, 16 years ago. Like, just think about that as well, right? We now actually have a system of trust that nobody can tamper with. Nobody can touch it.
You're gonna say crypto again.
What? I didn't say anything. I was just thinking very
Please,
loudly. Very, very loudly.
The crypto bro is strong in you.
Bro, like, again, I think every single person on earth needs to get with the program. And like, until we're
this so
there,
he can grow his crypto babies. Don't listen to
it's not about that, bro. Again, it's a matter of really
Yeah, I know what
killing
you
war.
mean.
It's killing war, but
It's not killing war.
Yes,
it's
it
getting
is.
away from the banks.
No, it's killing fucking war, dude. Again, the whole war economy is an economy.
It's not gonna be about the money in future, homie. It's not gonna be
It's
about.
100%
You know what it's gonna be about? It's
gonna
gonna
be
be
about
about
the money.
clean water. That's what it's gonna be about.
Christian, it's gonna be about money, bro, because you're gonna have to pay money to
get
clean
clean water.
And then, not only that, but the people that are guarding the water with their guns are gonna want money for their work.
That's another thing. Like, I don't support America in thinking that everyone should have access to a firearm. I think firearms in general should be abolished, and the technology entirely should just be scrapped.
Here in South Africa, we have a lot of firearming as well. And for me, the pastime of like shooting gun, I get the appeal. I really do. But we have modern computer games today. You can go and literally be a soldier in a virtual world. You can have 50 different guns in your repertoire.
So that's also, I think, a massive male insecurity.
the whole gun thing.
Yeah, for dudes
100%.
for dudes that don't get into a family or have a chica in their lives, they're just like, I'm just gonna go shoot guns now.
Not only
and
that,
I know someone like that.
I know people that
personally.
do both, bro. That actually get the chica and still do. I'm gonna go guns now, bro.
What's his name?
I
Rudo.
no, there's not that into guns. Fortunately, his friend is, unfortunately.
Oh,
And this friend comes over, bro, and then I'll be like in the middle of stream,
pow, pow.
and like on the yard, not like at the copy or something, and just like firing gun v fire, and like I'm not counting, but I know that a bullet costs like 5 rand or 10 rand depending on how good the ammunition is. So my mind is just like money getting shot, money, and it's the whole fractal of like there are in fact.
Sorry, I do hear you on the money being spent at bullets just flying. Unbelievable amounts of money is spent on bullets flying.
And also ear damage and
Yes, see, bro, like if you take a look at how much damage it does to your ears,
even with ear
that's like
protection
years of
technique
listening
there.
to loud music just gone in a single shot.
Trust is now a moment here together. Flow well, brother. Stay neutral. Stay out of duality. Then you will flow in balance and harmony and attract all you wish. Thank you. Dear Jam, I am trying to stay balanced.
So there was Joe Poe mentioned that last comment was pretty cool.
To open to the world is a reflection of a security in oneself.
So I actually want to read something with regards to that, right? 'Cause it popped into my head right now. It's it's one of them is called Meaningless Empty Shells. So you have to just bear with me. It has a message, I swear to God. We have withdrawn so deeply within ourselves, seeking shelter from the cold, indifferent world around us. Though we each know how the other feels, all we want is to steal whatever attention and care they may have to sate this terrifying hunger born of loneliness. Dark and decrepit our auras blacken, hidden amidst the crowd solely because of how common the absence of color has become. Smiles shine, but only in the visual. They hold no weight in the spiritual. In fact, stain it, an ugly, distorted distortion, pestilent with lies. The eyes are the windows to the soul, thus no wonder every light has left ours. So rarely do we see the higher self in the one across, for too selfish are we, obsessed with the me, that all we end up perceiving is any slither of a sign, or even just a shadow, that they notice something hallowed in us, and not yet another meaningless, empty shell. So, the problem is because there's so many of us, it's become a commonality that, oh, it's just another human. It's just another human. Another fucking human. Another fucking human. And unfortunately, that starts reflecting internally as well. You start seeing yourself as just another human.
And now on the internet, not only do you see yourself as another human, but you can potentially see yourself as a subpar human because of all of this upliftment of certain ideals and certain beauty standards and certain perspectives. And like it's the Instagram fractal where you get to see this slice of someone's reality and then pretending that is their life.
Instagram is such a potent tool because what happens is, depending on what you have on your feed, that's what you consume, right?
Yep.
If you can stick on that tangent, then it can be very nice. It can be. You see cat videos and wholesome nature conservation videos or friendship and love videos. But then you get the occasional, like, check out these feet. Or
kind of like gating you into
like,
this.
Check out this OnlyFans girl. It suddenly pops up.
Dancing.
And you're like, suddenly you're taken aback. Right?
Different frame of mind.
Especially, you're a young single male, for example.
Dude, like
suddenly there's this fucking young hot chica, very hot, very world standard hot, suddenly on your feed. And of course, every second you spend watching that thing, the algorithm is like,
oh, wait, I see.
Yeah, you're not scrolling, so you like. Maybe I'll show you another one.
And then
now it's a different flavor one and a different flavor one. Next thing you know,
that's
your
your
feed is taken over.
Not only that, but I'm like linking this fractal, of like what people are supposed to look like. And again, for me, it's almost the whole separation from reality, where that dude in that opportunity, if you saw a beautiful woman in your real life, maybe you would be too shy to, but maybe you could at least
talk to her.
Go up and talk to her, right?
Check. People are like, I send people cat videos, dog videos,
bird videos here. I've shared so many with show as well of like parrots just doing silly things.
Oh, see, it can be wholesome if done right, but people suck at doing it right.
For me, it's not the people sucking at doing it right. It's Instagram being predatory, bro.
It is, but that's what its entire job is about. That's its business model.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Oh wait, check you soon, bro. I'm gonna be present with these comments a bit. Believe, seeing here and now as a place of complete wholeness. Everything else is abundant. Joe, you have been such a teacher in my life with that lesson. Really. It's been quite surreal. Because even though I know this truth, it's so easy to forget, and you really work on not forgetting that truth. Pentagram of life, flower. Yep, I second guess my intentions after the fact constantly. You are a natural being, Luke.
You're a human being.
Yeah, sometimes act in unpredictable ways.
Isn't it so wonderful to know that not everything is necessarily your responsibility? That's another
That is the
It's something to come to terms with,
That's the-
especially for overthinkers.
that's the Buddhist bliss, bro. Is that
So-
you don't exist.
Yeah. At some point, you need to acknowledge that you cannot control every single aspect of your existence. In fact, you can control a very tiny amount. In fact, you can control just how you feel about things. That's where it's like, man, sometimes circumstances suck. And I think it's so easy to say it from a position of privilege. So easy to remain happy and content with your being in the world when it's nice and good and cushy and taken care of, and there's always opportunity to make things better. I'm thinking of people like, again, no intention to insult anybody from India, but I'm thinking people in India that are born in the fucking shit streets, you know, in the trash,
worst,
pollution,
yeah.
and with no access to education, first of all.
Their parents already are like just picking through trash to get something
and
to...
even if you do have access to education, you're competing with over 1 billion other
1.4
brewskis
billion people.
that are busy getting ridiculously high marks. The competition in India is absolutely stupid.
Yeah.
Same in China, same in Japan, South Korea.
Japan is actually not that bad anymore.
It's getting better.
They have a still pretty toxic work culture. It's kind of like, if you don't work 80 hours a week, why are you even working here? Like, what's wrong with you? You know, like, there's this whole fractal.
The problem is that it's instilled now where people don't trust each other at all unless they go out drinking with their bosses.
Dude, like, Japan has that fractal too, where you literally work until 8 p.m. at night, and then you go out with the boss to go and drink, and then you go to bed.
How do you build a family like that? Is my question. How do you, if your entire social dynamic is based on your work environment and hanging out with your bosses afterwards, where you get drunk and probably listen to horrible profanations, how do you maintain a healthy relationship with, say, your spouse,
Anyone.
or your children, or your parents, or whatever?
It's impossible.
And I feel like anime is in many ways a cry for help from this society as well, where you see some of the animations portraying this horrible work culture.
Yeah.
And in some of them, they actually do it with a sense of pride. You know, I'm so proud I work so hard.
Got top marks. I'm the best school. I got the most fresh cut. You know, and like literally
this
just
is coming from two hippies in South Africa.
a perspective that we were never supposed to have, technically, bro, as well. Like for me,
like I feel so much of the pain that exists throughout the world because of these imaginary structures, really imaginary structures we have put into place. It is not a survival mechanism. I'm sorry, it's not necessary. You can find food elsewhere and shelter elsewhere. There are ways to get by. But it's because we have been so put in motion, because of this horrible momentum that has gone down for generations.
I want to add this as well, Holmes, is that not only is that momentum a part of our lives right now and we're in it, but the momentum isn't collective, right? So it's like that momentum gets like isolated to you as a person. And when you go through that churn and shit hits the fan, it's only you with your shit hitting the fan now. And then by the time you're kind of like back on your feet, then the next person's shit is hitting the fan. And then you are like, I'm just recovering. I can't help you with your shit hitting the fan now.
And then they're like, why you're in a position of so much better position right now? Why aren't you helping me out? And you're like, bro, I went through the shitter as well. And it is passed down also from parents to children to so on and so forth. And I don't know how to remedy that. The cog that I am on this global scale is far too small to influence these structures sufficiently to make them stop. The sense of competition that we've established that is not based only on our age gap, that goes away when you become an adult. Now you're suddenly competing with people younger than you and older than you. Yeah. And it's all about the money. Who has the most money in their bank account? Or you want to take it a different step, who's more religious? You know, who's more devout and zealous? Or it can be who gets the most chicas. And it's these silly, even in the good spectrums of doing good, who does the most conservation?
Yeah.
Who's looking after the most animals and keeping the most species from going extinct?
Numbers.
And instead of it being about conserving the species, it becomes, you know, a label, a badge of honor to wear. It's why I love Jane Goodall. My sister introduced me to Jane Goodall. Her entire journey was about saving the chimpanzees in Africa. So she tried to, firstly, it was mostly about the science. Like she was studying these chimps, like lived with them, created bonds and relationships
Did give
with
them
them.
too many
Eventually,
bananas.
it got mediatized and it got shown to the world. She was never a very social person. She's a very socially awkward individual, actually, very introverted. But I find that to be an incredibly beautiful story because her entire objective had nothing to do with fame. David Attenborough, slightly different story. He kind of digs the fame, I think. But his intention is still, nevertheless,
Education.
to conserve and to educate the masses and to... You cannot say that he didn't try. You cannot say that this man, out of everybody that has existed on the planet, he tried his utmost best.
And it's again this matter of like people have been trying for so long and people have been trying in so many different ways and his way of trying was so beautiful.
It was
so
it
well
was
delivered.
effective,
Yeah.
efficient, and still it wasn't enough. Can you believe that? Despite making these absolutely unbelievable videos,
art,
these captured footages that are supposed to be impossible. How do you capture a fucking mantis shrimp in the goddamn ocean, like up close and personal? You're watching this thing doing the punches, knocking fucking crabs out, dude.
Something you were never supposed
and you
to
take
see.
that and you put it to the mass and you're like, look what's on this planet.
They will die
Guys, we're living on a planet where this shit exists.
alongside you.
Where it's beautifully alive. That it's so magical, incomprehensible. That it has been created by molecules and evolution bashing together and made this thing that fucking punches at the speed of sound and creates a burst of light
Shockwave,
when it does so.
that collapses.
And that's one example. I would fight to the death to try and maintain this thing on the planet just for that one thing.
You know what my one thing is? Chameleons. So.
Chameleon.
They're so fucking cool.
They're dumb though. I'm not gonna.
They are
They're
pretty
kinda-
dumb, but like the weird eyes, the weird hands with the little soft pads, the spiral tail, the crystals they can fucking shift to bend light in different.
They can see mantis shrimp as well. They can see in like some crazy number of spectrums, far beyond ours.
Something like 14 trillion colors instead of just like in the millions of
No,
spectrums.
I don't
Because
know.
I think they have like
24 color receptors or something. I
yeah,
don't know.
exactly, bro.
We have
six.
3.
We have
What?
3.
No.
Yes.
How many color receptors?
Humans have 3 color receptors. Watch, bro. That thing
How
has like
many
at
color
least 9.
receptors?
Human versus mantis shrimp.
Receptors, human versus mantis shrimp. Sorry, I typed that out instead of saying it.
And I was also
Humans have 3 types. You're right. While mantis shrimp have 12 to 16.
so again.
That is
The fact that we can see 3 colors mean that we can see 14 million, I believe, right? As they combine into different spectrums. And they can see, they have 9 to 12.
12 to
different-
16.
12 to 16 different receptors. Like the way they see the world would literally insta-melt our brains if we suddenly just got that input, bro. We would just be like, oh, go into a seizure, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Start seizing.
Yeah. But it would be cool if slowly we can just add like 1 extra rod and then a second extra rod. We'll probably get like robo eyes and then output a signal.
Why
that our
did it
brain
suddenly
can still
go away?
absorb.
That's very weird.
It glitches sometimes. Joe is a legend. It's true. Bless him. I describe it to Roque, Christian. Thank you for reading that, brother man. It was a good one. Love is true. Even more rarely reciprocated. Yes, I think I missed a few. Flow well. There we go. Vulnerability is an extension of our trust. Like that one. All right. Validation shouldn't be sought from outside influence. To be open to the world is a reflection of security in oneself. It's a hard road if we seek confirmation and relevance from a hollow and shallow world. That's a very good take, actually, Joe. That if I wanted relevance in a world that can be a little bit hollow and shallow, my relevance would make me feel hollow and shallow. And I'd say this to you as well, that as soon as that relevance goes away, I'll be left feeling even more hollower and shallower.
What are you talking about?
Like the fame fractal. Weirdly
Oh.
enough, the Hawk Tour fractal, actually.
Man, yeah, we had the conversation about Hawk Tour Girl, and again, it's one of the testaments to my lack of faith in humanity, because we made a silly, opportunistic lady world famous because of a single sexual phrase.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of stupid men got
Very
overly turned on
excited
at
by
the
it.
idea of Hawk Tour. And I can bet you there are millions of teenagers that are like, why aren't you Hawk Touring my penis right
yeah, like I want you to spit on it, bro. Ruining our fucking brains.
Yeah!
What the fuck's wrong with us?
Humanity!
And like again, right? Then she
Humanity.
takes that influence, something she can literally change the world with, and she launches a scam coin, and like just
Yeah,
like fucking
and then she tried to take advantage of her sudden burst of fame. Can you believe
rinses
that?
her fans for million Samdaras.
And instead of being humble and slightly like cutely embarrassed about it, it's like, no, let's take pride in it and even try to blow it up into a business model. Can you believe that?
have a podcast. I don't know if you know, but her podcast is owned by Logan Paul.
Oh no.
Yeah. Even more linking
Fucking another cancer on society. Sorry, no offense, Logan, if you can ever hear this, but goddamn, dude,
Bro.
please.
Stop, bro.
Please.
Have some respect for yourself.
Logan
For
is-
our species. Oh.
Dude, I'm still remembering the days when they caught like that suicide
Dude!
video.
And like he still has an audience. He still has a platform.
Oh fucking hell!
Like there has to be something like, bro.
It's the same fly.
Probably, dude. It didn't get laid. Oh, he's trying to.
He's trying to die. Yeah, it's like more alcohol.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Sorry.
enough screen time for Logan Paul.
That I was trying to do.
I think Earth will be okay, but
Yeah.
society not so much. You're absolutely right. Earth will be okay for another another billion years before the sun turns into a red dwarf and swallows this place whole. Unless we somehow manage to put rockets on Earth and just shift it out of the orbit.
a little bit, like,
I don't
nah.
think it'll work.
Of course it would.
No, dude. Our most likely chance of survival beyond a billion years is 100% getting off this planet and becoming interstellar.
So the thing about like the sun expanding is that it will lose mass. That's why it expands, which means that its gravitational well will drop as well. So we don't have to have that much thrust to just keep nudging ourselves a little bit. Like,
that'll be a crazy amount of power that we need.
we'll probably just move, and what we'll probably do is create a computer that just time dilates. So we slow down time relatively to ourselves, so we turn billions of years into trillions, and then
What's gonna happen
quadrillions.
is we're gonna get into several 100,000 spaceships and fuck off in different directions.
sporate the
Yeah,
space, bro.
Exactly that. Because we're gonna figure out immortality before that. We're either gonna go super cybernetic or ultra bio,
We're gonna do
or
both.
both. Yeah, like you mentioned, and we will spread out. Whoever finds good living, it'll be 40K, exactly Warhammer 40K. Maybe without the magic and shit, but there was something I
Turn
try
Earth
to
into a spaceship.
maintain. I pray that society will learn how to heal. Society will learn how to heal, and will also discover new ways of absolute horrendous self-mutilation and other extreme unpleasantness. That's the beauty about human imagination, as infinite as it is.
So
We will learn new ways to heal. It's actually an interesting topic. So I've been trying to discover new ways of existing healthily, right? Because my normal methods no longer seem to have the same impact. So yoga no longer seems to have that same stress relief, or rock climbing as well. So I've been trying to find something else out there that can help me out, and surely I will stumble upon it at some point.
meditating?
Yeah, I've done meditation. And eventually, inevitably, you will have that cycle where you spiral out of that and you need to find another new way, something new to feed your soul. I'm ADHD as fuck. I get bored very easily. So I do need something new continuously. right? Whether it's diving, I'd eventually get bored of diving as well if I was doing it every day. Absolutely, I felt it already in Sodwana, 100%.
It just becomes a new normal for you. You don't want something to become a new normal. You want something to be exciting, right? In that way, or at least some
Just
part
new.
of it. Some
Just
part of it to
new.
be exciting.
Just
yeah.
new. So now they're trying to drag me into fencing with Paige.
Oh, well,
They're like, come join fencing.
try some
But-
fencing. You should meditate more. Like that's the thing my mind
I
is
have,
screaming.
homie.
I know you have. But
I
think-
sit there and I put on LO moves
Okay.
that sound
Yeah,
bad. That
yeah,
sound
yeah.
bad stuff. And it's nice. It is. But it's not going to be something that I can do every day.
But you should do a different one.
I
one
do,
that's
of course.
Like
I don't do the
scanning,
same one.
and then
No,
do-
of course not.
Where is the spaceship Earth headed? There. It's headed there.
Over there,
Over there.
over the hill and gone. Did you watch that Billy Connolly comedy with me?
Like I'll have to hear the run up probably.
If you haven't watched that Billy Connolly comedy with
the
me,
full one.
we're gonna have to watch it together.
Let's do it actually. I would like to.
Tonight we
Yeah.
watch it.
Yeah.
Like this is. Let me explain to you how important that stand-up show is for me. It's on par with George Carlin's stand-up, because I've based so much of my personality off of that stand-up with Billy Connolly. Such
Took
a
so
big
much-
part of who I am.
How many times have you watched it?
So many, bro. So many.
Even better.
So many.
Whoa, who this? This is Christian.
Who does who?
He is unapologetically, well, I don't know if I can say that anymore. No, I can still say it. Unapologetically, my best friend.
Oh.
Right.
Oh.
I was gonna be like, Jovan is my best friend, but she's my best other friend.
Yeah, I'm your only friend.
He's my homie. This guy is my homers.
I'm an adopted son from his mother and mother, not father.
Yeah,
his father hates my guts.
I'm an adopted son of his father.
Mm.
His mother is loving me from above.
Yeah, that Mama Gaia.
I think your mom would have loved me too, bro.
Mom would have loved you. Honestly, it is a big shame to me that she didn't get to meet you. She would have adored you, dude.
Bro.
For the simple reason that she admires people that can sustain a sense of happiness and companionship and morals.
Value.
She was very, very big on morals. And also maintaining friendships. If anybody maintained friendships on this planet, it was her.
Your mom.
She poured in so much effort. Always. Whenever she traveled to a place where a friend was, that bag was packed full of presents, bro.
Go and
Always.
visit them, bring them stuff.
That's why the same thing I do to you. I got from her, bro. It was like I cannot pitch up to
I
your
mean,
house.
this scarf was
and
his
not
mom's.
bring you
Literally, I'm
yeah.
wearing mom today, actually, bro.
for shizzle.
And weirdly enough, and I haven't told you this directly, but Joy Vive told me this is the favorite of all of the scarves that I wear. for
Really?
her. Yeah, and
It's a cool
she's
ass
given me
scarf, bro.
3,
Look
so
at-
that
look
says
at
a
that
lot.
shit.
It is cool. It's very psychedelic as well. Get lost in them spirals. Earth is a spaceship. It is. I want brain to be spaceship.
Brain is spaceship.
Yeah, it's
Brain
true.
is fastest spaceship in existence.
Psychonautical spaceship.
It is if you take a second to think about it, Brain is 100% fastest spaceship in
Faster
existence
than light.
right now.
Faster than light, though, because
There-
you can. And
there-
I love this experiment. Maybe do it with me. Imagine Jupiter.
Yeah, got it.
Right. For light to travel as fast as it just did. Right, from Earth to Jupiter, something like 14
It's actually
minutes.
a very famous analogy about a king that said he would promise half his gold in the kingdom if a person came through and discovered the fastest thing in existence. And of course, a dude came with a horse, another dude came with a cheetah, and then the final dude came with like
the mind.
the mind. And he's like, "What do you mean? That makes no sense." He's like, "Yes, it does. So I can get to the other side of the country like this.
Just have to think about.
Just have to think about it." And the king, of course, is like,
You'll
"Oh,
see."
oh," gives half his gold.
Bro, if only there was a king
They can give
who would ask me some riddle so that I can go and take my chance at half the gold.
Oh, that's the problem with in my work environment now, bro. That's the real
Literally the real problem, bro.
problem. Is watching all that
Unfold.
like going down on camera, dude.
Christian is doing great work right now in the security industry.
I got lucky. I
Yeah.
got lucky.
I'm not. I mean, the way I see it is that you're showing up, right? And you're doing it in a way that is going to facilitate.
I still try to maintain my hippie outlook on life. It's difficult. I can see why people lose it.
It's not working for some people.
Nah, man. Like our dear, I'm upset with Johan. I want Chat to know that. Know that, Chat.
Chat, you know,
Johan has let me down.
our friend is deeply in love. he has reprioritized his whole life.
Oh man.
And it's sometimes how it be, you know? Sometimes you fall in love with someone, and then as you fall...
You forget all your friends.
No, hear me out. As you fall, you hit the ground so fucking hard that your brain goes right out your head. Right out
your
of it.
ear hole.
And it's okay, right? We've all been in love before to the point of infatuation. Infatuation, that's the word. Obsession.
Obsession, besottedness.
Besottedness. I like that one every time.
Yeah, besotted is a great word.
Being completely besotted. And it's beautiful being besotted.
Can I have one of these?
Yes.
Yeah, one small one.
Yes, please.
I get it 100%. I really do. In fact, I shouldn't be surprised. But nevertheless, I am entitled to my own perspective of this situation.
You can wait.
It sucks to me that I've spent so much time growing with my dear friend, spent so much time visiting him, going on adventures with him, and one lady, one girl, steps into his life one day, a single day, after which he spends pretty much up till now. This was about 3 months ago max.
Yeah, first week of December.
Yeah, 3 months ago max. Met her once, has spent the rest of the time online with her. I no longer exist in his world. I'm not a part of it. I've been friends with him for years.
For half a decade.
I don't mean to sulk. I can feel myself being clingy as I speak about this trust. But I don't do that to my friends. I am in fact in the middle of developing a relationship. I have not done that to my friends. My friend is still here. No? Yes? Still existing? Within my presence, I have invited him to my home. We still hang out. I do so with the rest of my friends as well. My young friend, gone. Absolutely disappeared off the face of the planet. He's, like you mentioned, reprioritized. The most important thing in his life now is this girl he's known for a single encounter, the rest of which has been online. Now, I don't mind. I just didn't think it would go this way. That's not the impression I had.
Yeah, I feel it's one of those things where it's like a black swan event. It's a total black swan event for Johan, you know. This is his black swan event where all of the rules go flying out the door.
I have a personal opinion on what is causing all of this, and it's slightly inappropriate, so I won't mention it.
Now you will find love. Just that one? You want more? Twitter pated. Twitter pated. I think that's another word.
Twitter-pated.
Yeah, Twitter pated. And it's on autopilot. Nobody knows how to read the map. Oh, where we're going. Joe, where's the spaceship headed? We're going home. Now you will find love. I kinda had, says Joe. That happened to... I'm on the other side of it now.
I understand that
Bygones
fractal
are
as well,
bygones.
Joe.
I understand this thing. Actually, remember I told you that Joe told me about going through a fractal, kind of similar, and that friend not being there for her when she really needed her? Because we were talking about friendship and how if you're friends and when someone needs you in their lives, you just are like, actually, can't be there for you right now.
So Zano Smith asks, what if he wants to start a family? He most definitely wants to start a family, but without the baby part.
Yeah, Christian, sorry. Johannes let us know that he's not having children.
What?
Hasn't Johan?
I've never heard that from him.
I've literally heard him say
I'm
that
pretty
he's
sure
not
he
having
wants kids, bro.
Really?
Oh, yeah. What is your idea, bro? That's weird.
I've
That's
never
sus.
heard him say that, bro.
No. I think he definitely wants children. And I'm sure he does. He most certainly likely wants to start a family. Zano Smith. I too want to one day start a family. That is my argument in this. Does that mean I should cut Estian out of the frame? Like, get rid of him?
I won't let you.
Does that make sense? You see, I thought I was as close with him as I am with my dear friend here. And that's what shocked me. You understand? That's what kind of shocked me in the scenario. Was like, suddenly, the brother, I consider him family, brother was like,
Actually, you're really inconveniencing me right now.
I can't
You
spend
being-
time with you. That kind of thing. I cannot. I don't ask for much. I don't want to fucking live with him.
Yeah.
I want to go rock climbing with him once a week. Should I get shot for that? I think not. I think that's a very reasonable thing. Because we used to twice a week. I don't even want twice a week anymore. I'm fine with once a week, especially when we've planned for it.
You had soft plans, so.
Yeah, so it was soft plans. Sorry, it was soft plans. I should have clarified on the day exactly when we should have gone climbing, because otherwise he's not able to let his lady know and plan around that. Because he's apparently, on a Sunday, spending online time from the whole of the morning to the whole of the afternoon.
Let's take a deep breath. And accept our friend is on a path, on a journey. There might be beautiful flowers. There might be thick bushels of thorns. And
What is,
if he comes back, we're going to welcome him open-heartedly.
No, but if he isn't able to give the same closeness, why would you want to take from him? It's not about the same closeness. It's about any form of closeness. It's the sudden, absolute, oblivious, vacuous lack of closeness.
So maybe I can say it like this, with the whole priority thing, right? It's like he's making it very clear to us that we were a priority at one point of his life, and we no longer are.
No, I'm fine with that.
Priority.
I have no problem with this lady taking priority. My problem lies in that it has consumed the entirety of his existence.
Yeah.
You can have
Priorities.
you can have 90%.
Yeah.
You can have 90% priority, no problem. Take it.
I have a bunch of priorities of my own as
I
well.
have things to attend to as well, no problem. But you cannot give me a crumb to see you, to talk to you, to relish in this exciting adventure that you are on, to
Talk to about it.
praise you on it, to be happy for you for it. How do you know that I am happy for you? You don't talk to me. How does that make sense? How is that friendship? That you cannot share this incredible journey that you are on? Not even a phone call, come on.
And this is me being a little bit biased, but the fact that, have you met the lady? Like, I want to talk about that exactly, Zano. One of the first things that I wanted to do with Jovan being here in South Africa is bring her to my friends.
To be like, look at nice lady.
Not even look at nice lady, but this is the person I love.
No, but I mean,
And
look at nice lady
These are
I
the other
found.
people I love.
Look at nice lady I found. I am partaking in nice lady's company. And I would like you to know that I am going through good time. Right?
For me, it was more like, Joe, I love you. And Christian, I love Joe. And then being like, these are the people that I love. I love these people. And like that's to me, that's my priority.
So Zano asks, have you met the lady? No, I would have in fact loved to meet the lady.
But the problem is Johan hasn't met the lady again since we're assuming
Enough
the first meeting.
gossip upon that topic. I think we've overstepped the limit of the gossip that we should share in the first place. I'm a gossip girl, I fully admit this.
I'm just like painfully aware of the fact that this is the internet. And you know what the best part is?
Zano's fighting for Johan's side here, bro.
Maybe it's hard to share when he's still strengthening something that is important to him. Maybe it's really hard and he's putting lots of energy into it. There's no doubt in our minds that he's putting lots of energy into it.
He's putting all the energy into it.
Dear Zano friend, there's just a bunch of factors, right? And again, we are his friends. Like if there was no care in our hearts for this person, we would be like, oh, this person disappeared from our lives, ceases to exist in our minds, right? Oh, now we're not thinking about this person anymore. But it is our love and concern and care for this person and our want for him to have been here if he could have been. But there is no priority, right, at this point.
I think that term is quite potent when you say, like, I suddenly have a new priority. My objective has shifted entirely.
It feels like, again, maybe this is my own projection because I am emotional like that, right? It feels like there is this subconscious communication of, yeah, being friends actually was a mistake this whole time. And now I'm in fact on the right path. So maybe we're being drama queens as well. There's like a point to be said about that. When you meet the lady, maybe things will change. I look forward to it. I look forward to being included in the life of my friends and family.
You're right.
Sometimes people get very caught up in the journey. We as companions and friends,
I see Zano and Jopo. They're
teachers.
They're protecting right now. They're protecting. They're like, try to have patience, try to have understanding. I have all of those things. What I'm presently doing is voicing the predicament that I find myself in, that I have full right to express, especially. Should I stay quiet and not express?
I think it's more a matter of in expression. Is there something we can do to solve the problem?
It's not about solving the problem. It's not in your hands. It's about not annihilating the friendship because of this single occasion. It's silly to do so. Now, I know I've mentioned to you several times, like, it won't be the same. And it won't be. It never really is. But things are learned along the journey. And
I mean, we can
realizations of a human being do like, eventually.
Let's tell this story a little bit. I told our friends almost like the cliff notes of the fact that we had like a whole spat that one night, right? And me and Christian never really fight, especially not in that way.
Oh, are you talking about Ultraman incident? Ultraman was a hard incident, yo.
That's like one of those. That was one of our black spot moments.
Yeah, those were black moments. That was a black spot moment where I literally had to walk out and like take a breath to collect myself.
So in that, me and Christian like having a proper like spat, have a fighting about that you can also say things would never be the same. Right, and yes, things are never the same, but also all of these things make a part of the larger story, right? It gives us the perspective, gives us the
No, but we made up very quickly.
Yeah.
That was the thing. We called and we were like, okay, this was hardcore. There was a lot of things happening at the same time. Let's just talk it out.
Maybe scrolling up. I want to just read his message first, Jost, as well. We, as companions and friends, sometimes feel slighted by that. I asked to consider, how many times has he had a serious girl in his life? So this is something that we kind of agreed upon is definitely a big lever in this whole experience, is that it is, you know, a very important experience for him.
For baser reasons.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that.
We're not going there.
It's just, in that fractal, in the question you asked, there is more importance placed on let's call it the hierarchy. I want to say it without saying it. Maybe it's hard. It's true. It's hard to share. I'm giving you the women's perspective. We appreciate it, Zano. I'm listening. Some fall hard. Try to consider his new position. We do. We do. And we've been in his position. I think that's where we're coming from as well. Is that it's not like we don't understand. That's not our gripe. It's not like we're like, how is this possible? We've been there, but we haven't made the same decisions. We haven't come to the same conclusion. We haven't had the same actions. And we want our friend to like...
Yeah, I've never reacted. Personally, I've never reacted the way he has reacted. That's my argument to him, which was like, I'm going through a similar thing as you are, but I'm not discarding my friends right now. In the hopes that he would see that as well. Or learn to implement it better in his life. Because I do think it's healthy. I'm not telling people how to live. I'm not trying to. I hope not.
It isn't
I
science,
just
though.
know what it is to throw yourself upon a singular topic continuously, persistently. And
we can call it a putting all of your eggs in
It's
one
not-
basket analogy, bro.
I don't think it's healthy, frankly. Crucify me if you need to. But you cannot, especially not in such a short amount. That's reserved for wife. Okay? Wife, that commitment.
And have kids.
Yeah, kids.
You
Kids,
have
wife,
and kids.
family, kids, wife, hope to fucking
Then maybe...
do what you need to do,
Yeah,
bro.
you're like-
Shit. First priority, absolutely. I'll call every fucking 2 years. Not gonna bother you. I understand. People need to grow, that kind of shit. But from once seeing and continuous just 3-month online relationship, there's a lot of unknowns for the future here. A lot of trust that needs to be established, a lot of time that needs to pass before I think you can say such things about an individual.
The thing for me...
Let me put, sorry.
And I want to say this before you do,
Okay.
right? It's like we already have built that trust with each other, right? Not in a relationship way, like we're not going to be romantic partners and raise a family together. But we as in a relationship have built that trust. And he did say that too, right?
Oh, he said it many times.
Yeah.
He said it many times. Oh, same about Shadowrun. Like, there's no way, no matter what chica I have in my life, there's no way I would ever skip out on this. Skips out on it day one. Here's a very simplistic diagram level of understanding. Let's start the diagram by us hanging out. We're all together. Everything is happy. Everything we're considerate, hanging out, there for one another, blah, 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 blah. That's how the video starts, right? In steps Chica, one of us just blimps out of existence.
And she as well.
And she as well. And the remainder of us are going like, what the...
What just happened?
Takes time. How much time has gone by? That's how I see it.
Well, the way I see it,
I have never stopped my friends from falling in... I'm sorry.
the way I see it is that if he comes back and like that's all we can do, right? That's, for me, the conclusion of the solving of the problem is we can just love our friend and know that if he comes back to us, we'll...
No, he will. He will
We'll hold
inevitably...
him.
I do have faith in Johan to eventually come back. My issue would be that if he comes back directly after this chica breaks up with him. God forbid, obviously. But I mean... It would be kind of like, wow. Does that... Right? Does that
like
come
the
across
whole,
right?
Well, look what
Well,
the cat dragged
well,
in.
well.
Kind of mentality. Love is true. Love is true, right? And again, the reason I can say that is because you wouldn't be feeling all of these things if love wasn't true, if you didn't love this friend, if you didn't care. So sometimes people get caught, you're right. No, you're free to have feelings as a human being, just still holding space and kindness, true. I wasn't defending, I'm just listening, bless. So in my anecdote, Joe says, the factors that cause stress in new relationships, those things have the possibility of bringing one to a lower frequency, if you will. And in those lower vibes, the higher vibes aren't available as they once were. So I had come to the conclusion in the end of the cycle that she was learning her lessons that she had to learn. I couldn't learn them for her. I've been giving that teaching to Christian, so the fact that that's your teaching too, Joe, it feels so beautiful. I'm compartmentalizing, I did it too, but all relationships, friendships, romantic ships, they're all their own cycle. I really do believe that when things settle, he'll want you back in his life. That's very beautiful, Jean. That brings me so much calm. Like, what if the relationship doesn't work out? I'm sure you could be there for him either way. True, exactly. So much love to you, brothers. I know you understand. We do. You guys are mourning in a way. It's very sweet. It's nice to have people that care so much. It's one of those things that's polarizing, Zano. Right? Caring a lot. And I had this conversation with him in the car today. I really care a lot about the quality of conversations and about the enthusiasm, motivation,
Drama.
and authenticity almost in the conversation as well. Like being your real self, letting things come out the way they're supposed to. Drama is good. With masala, right? Like some spice in the conversation. And not having that feels like it's almost like stealing from your soul, right? It's like taking from your being instead of actually
because
enriching you.
it's man, it's such a difficult thing to explain, but it's a sense of reciprocation as well. Like you're out here pouring energy, showing up, like it's an act. You and I have had this talk before on a bunch of different substances. Where we're like,
I'm thinking about our five.
You're doing a play. You know, you were there being passionate about the show. I was there going, oh,
Yeah.
you know, like you're showing up emotionally. And it kind of sucks to do all of that and to be so, I don't know, ostentatious is a nice word. It is slightly ostentatious. Nevertheless, it's a beautiful way to live this life, in my opinion. And if you get the reaction of,
Stop that. You're interrupting my NASCAR show.
Yeah. The rugby's on. Stop talking.
Stop dancing, child. We're watching NASCAR.
Did you just insult Jesus? Anyway. Yes.
This could be a learning opportunity as to consider just how much you value friendship. We did talk about values today. I appreciate that when the dust settles. Because I anticipate that when the dust settles, because excitement is certainly stirring, that it's a lesson you can teach as well. You have taught me a lot, Sean.
Thank God.
It's been an honor.
I just needed it.
I've needed it. You've helped me a lot. You got to see me become the person I am because of Joe's influence in my life too, bro. Since day 34.
I've been around since the start.
He's been around longer, true. It's true. Because that was before China even, and you were around before China.
Oh, fucking China. That was hard, bro. Listening to you suffer was difficult for me.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be I should have just not cared. Yeah, but I cared. Get fucked.
Get wrecked out there.
I got wrecked with you, bro. I was bleeding. My heart was bleeding for you. You came back as a fat ass.
Bro, I was locked in a box. With a freaking box. I literally
was huge.
dude. I've told this story multiple times. This was literally at one point because I was literally dead inside. I would go and meditate.
I'm not surprised.
On the top of my building, my 42-story building, and I would look down there and I'd be like, could kill myself.
Oh my God.
Nah. Go back down to my apartment, bro. And I would reach this level of like being a slob, bro, where I would literally lay watching a TV show, and then I would, with as little effort as possible, pick my phone up. And then I would do this, right? Like, look, just like thumb. And then I would drop my phone again and watch my TV show, and then literally 15 minutes later, gok, on my door. In the middle of an apartment complex. Sometimes on the 4th floor. These oaks had to walk upstairs, knock on my door, still in my robe. I just rope myself up, get my food through a little sliver in the door, go and lay back down, eating 4 Burger King burgers or whatever, dude. 2 Papa John's pizzas. Fucking hell, dude. That was not a good space. If I just didn't eat as much, bro, I could have come back with more money too, dude. Just robbing myself.
You did what you had to do.
I survived.
You survived.
Yeah. I will not die. You are blessed. I feel so good about this stream. I'm probably gonna do like a little hot recap, horizontal one. Just kisses my brain if I don't do one. Maybe you can sit with. You're gonna sit with me. Give me Rom. He wasn't supposed to actually. I love you, friends. I thank you for joining us. I'll see you like literally in another moment. Goodbye for now. Sweet.